the Black Panther of Nigeria, aka the villain of truth. Today, I want to talk about something. I want to wait for my audience to join me live. I will talk about my principle on how I live my life. Thank you for those who are joining me live. Please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I want to be telling you today, I'll be revealing to you part of the secret of the man of thought, part of my principle of my life, and how I am able to navigate my life, which has to do with the spiritual part, some knowledge I've been able to have. I'll be revealing some of it to you guys today. For those who will be willing to also able to get into the divine, to be able to experience spirituality no matter where you are. I would be revealing those secrets today, some of the secrets that I have, and that's what I want to do today. So I want to wait a little bit for people to join me live. Hmm. Trust me, if you have ever heard me say anything before, if you're willing and you're like, I want to maybe be like this guy in a sense, I want to have some insights that the man of thought have. I want to reveal some of those principles today so I can set people free. Not in a aspect of deliverance, but I want to share some of my principles, some of my cultural values and the rest of it that I use to navigate life. And it has been a blessing to me. These are principles that are just there in life that a lot of people do not understand. Ah, so please, if you're joining, I would appreciate those who are interested in what I want to discuss today. Should please, first of all, double tap your screen and show me likes. Show me likes. Thank you. I've seen one person showing likes. I would appreciate those people who are joining to also make sure I have enough likes. I never knew it used to help the algorithm until after a period of time, I started noticing while I speak to people and they inform me about, okay, you need likes because it helps the algorithm to be able to notify others. And that's just it. So today, like I said earlier, I want to talk about the man of thought, the principle behind the man of thought, the secret behind the man of thought. In fact, you can call it the power behind the man of thought. And if there are any part of me that you actually want to experience and you want to see how I am able to view life, how I move and navigate my ways, to be able to speak about things, in fact, things that I might have not experienced, but I can get into those things. That's what I'll be sharing today. I may sound, I will sound a bit stupid to people, but I will reveal a secret, some secrets today that if you practice those secrets, it will work like magic in your life. But don't be expecting. The expectation shouldn't be for the magic. The expectation is that are you willing to know the principles and you want to embody some of those principles to navigate your life. You know, in the Yoruba culture, we say a word, we say "Ogbologbo la fi ń ṣayé." Ogbon la fin shaye simply means that it is the wisdom of other people, the knowledge of other people. That's what we use to live our life. So that means no one is an island or a tree of wisdom. Wisdom are picked from various people. So today I am throwing out part of my experience and my principles to the world that I use to navigate, to be able to get to the divine and the rest of it. I know some people would be like, every time you come after this man, maybe he's having a conversation and you try to maybe corner him in a space, he kind of have a way to come out of that issue and he knows how to defend himself. And you're thinking, is he knowledgeable? Is he reading the whole books? There's a secret behind it. And that's the secret I'll be revealing today. So please, I would like you to show likes. Everyone can do these things. You can know beyond what you know right now. And it's not just about what you know or what you don't know. It's about there are certain principles of mind I want to be revealing to people so that they can use it to navigate their world. So I will be waiting. I'm giving some time for people to join. Um, and if some of us think that we are not ready right now, do you want to wait that I make it around 10 p.m.? Should I wait extra 2 hours? Should I wait till 7 p.m.? My daughter is screaming. Who is playing with her? Close the door because of this thing. Oh, aha. So if you want me to progress with this particular conversation, please do double tap your screen. I just felt like for me to liberate people, in some sense, I hate using the word liberate because I am not the one doing it. These things already exist in life. I'm not trying to free anybody. The principles are there, but some people might not be able to, you know, get their hands on it simply because they don't know more than what they've experienced in life. You know, education has its part. I want to show you some things in the African culture that helps people to be able to navigate into the spiritual path. And it also helps them to be able to have knowledge that they don't have before. So, if you want us to continue on this conversation today, for my audience, please double tap your screen. I am patiently waiting. I'm totally not in a rush until I see that those who are willing to listen shows that they are willing. It is something they are willing to learn right now. Only one person has shown like. I don't know, maybe this is the right time or maybe we need to extend some time. Hmm. We have 12 people that are joining me live, and I still have only one like. Urgh. You need to show me more likes. Let me see more likes. Double tap your screen so that we can proceed on today's conversation. Or if you have a question you want to ask me, maybe you feel free to ask me. If you want me to proceed, at least we need to have 4 likes, and then I will be able to proceed on the conversation on the topic. Part of my principles I use in navigating life. And I know some people will say, "Who are you?" I don't know who I am. We all are still trying to figure out life. Because regardless, there is nothing I tell you that I am, it doesn't change the perception you have about me. Only I know who I am. And that is sufficient enough for me. If you truly, as a human, believe in yourself, you do not need the testimony of others. So for those who are joining, please do double tap your screen. I want to be sharing some principles with you today on how I am able to navigate life. And apart from the principle, part to the spiritual side of me, how I'm able to have some knowledge about things that I haven't even experienced in my life before. Those are the things I would like to share with you guys. Only one person has shown like. If one person had not shown like, I most likely would have just, I would say, I'm going to come back by 7 or by 9 p.m. when people are live. Maybe that's what I would do. But because one person has committed by showing like, that's the reason why I'm asking others to show some likes also. So we have 2 people who have been able to show like. That means we have 2 to go. Okay, Jack Attack 427 says, "Yo, shout me out. I'm a really huge fan." Oh, Jack Attack 427. It's great having you. This is the first time you're writing on my channel. So most likely you have been following, but you haven't been saying anything. I never knew I had a huge fan. It's great having you, Jack Attack. Trust me, your name is kind of special. So every single time I see that name from now on, I would be able to recognize you and to say, okay, I've spoken to this person. So subsequently, I would like to hear your opinions, your contributions to whatever we do. We have 14 people right now on live. We have 2 to go, 2 likes more to go for us to be able to proceed on today's conversation. 2 more likes. We've started this video over 13 minutes ago, almost 14 minutes now. But at least I'm requesting for extra 2 likes so we can proceed on the conversation. 2 more likes. 2 more likes and we will proceed on today's conversation. It's a great thing meeting Jack Attack 427. I'm always happy when I recognize some of my audience speaking up. It is always my pleasure to meet you guys. If you are a fan of the man of thought and you want to understand his principle and his way to spirituality, every single person can embody it. I am not here to set you free because freedom itself exists. Freedom itself exists. Freedom most times exists in everyone. Sometimes it is the question that are we actually willing to be free? Because sometimes a lot of us have been in bondage for too long that bondage is our comfort zone. So for us to proceed, I've been asking if you want to know these principles of how the man of thought function, part of the principles of my life that helps me to be able to navigate some of the spiritual path that I've been using to navigate life, I want to be sharing some of it with you today. Two people have shown likes. We have two more to go. We have two more to go. Let two people double tap their screen and show like, and then we can proceed for today. Hmm. I would be revealing some things that some people are not aware of. And they are the one doing those things to themselves, and they are not aware they are doing it to themselves. So extra two likes, and we are good to go. When you give, mm, okay, we have three likes, one more to go, and I begin to tell you every principle on how I live my life. Part of my method, part of my principle. And I know it's going to be helpful to few people, to some people. One more like, and we are good to go. We have three, we have only one more like, and we are good to go. One more like, and we are good to go. Double tap your screen. One more like, and we are good to go. Somebody says something here. He says, please double tap and like the subscribe. Okay, that's Ron. Thank you, Ron. I'm really grateful. Yorùbá ò say tá a bá torí iṣu jẹpo àtorí epo jẹṣu. One more like. Yeah. Today I'm just sharing the principle of how I tap into spirituality. The principle of how I do some things, and certain individuals can also take that opportunity and increase their spiritual consciousness. So we need one more like to go, and we are going to begin. So please, one more person to show us like. set us free from this slow motion. Hello, Vivek Viswa. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, my brother. How you doing? Rusty is not online right now. Rusty might be in his place of work. Rusty is not live right now. If Rusty is live, he would have, said something. We need one more like. Someone should like so we can continue for today. We can have our conversation on what I want to share with you guys. Wow. Now it is 4. Thank you very much, Vivek Viswa, for double tapping your screen. And now we have 4 likes. Today, I'm just going to tell us few things. Most likely, I will come back to live stream. That's what I mean. But before then, I would like to share you part of my journey, and not to tell you the story, but just the principles that I use to navigate life. And the principles are there not just for Africans, but for every single person who exists on the surface of this earth. Now, what I want to say might make sense to some people and it might not make sense to some people. Every experience of our life is based off the frequency we operate on. What do I mean by frequency? There is a music you listen to right now, it reminds you of something. And when it reminds you of something, it creates a feeling. Every memory you have creates a feeling inside of you. So if you are happy, you experience something. If you see something that is joyful, there is an emotion inside of you that comes up. So every of these emotions are called frequency. The frequency, what do I mean, is that the consciousness and the elevation of your spirit behind this is beyond your physical experience. There's a part of human that is beyond the physical experience. But a lot of people have not been able to tap into that part of us that is there. The side of us that we have abandoned due to the fact that we have been told this is how to live our life. And we have followed the society teachings. And trust me, the society teachings have its place in our life. But sometimes we are not experiencing all part of life, all what we are capable of doing. And trust me, I am not also capable, I have not been able to unlock a lot of things in my life. But there are few things that I've been able to unlock, and those are part of the things I'll be sharing with you. So the first thing you need to understand is that if you operate on a higher frequency, there is a particular realm at which you start seeing life. For example, those of us who are joining me and who are live right now with me, if you think about when you are a child, if you can be very conscious to relax yourself right now while I'm talking to you, and you can remember when you were a child, maybe 4 years old and 5 years old and 6 years old, you would realize that there was a perception, a way you use in viewing life. Life was completely different for you during that moment. Things that you thought were true, this is exactly how it is. That was a perception for you at that particular time. But as you grew and you became youth, the same way you view things and it was beautiful to you, those same things, you begin to view those things when you become an adult, they become irritating to you. Some of them became annoying to you. Some of them you begin to shy away from. Some of them you begin to adopt and you like certain things. And as you grow older, right now, there's another perception you use in viewing life. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, your perceptions are totally different from the way you view life right now. And if your perception has remained the same 10 years ago and 15 years ago till now, then it simply means that you have been stuck in life. Now, when it comes to the way we view life, part of the things we need to understand is that every single eyes we use in seeing things around us, it is called frequency. It defines what happens inside of us. For example, when a child sees a soldier when he's very young, you see everyone saying, I want to be like a soldier. When you see a pastor, you admire being a pastor, regardless of the fact you don't know these things. But these things all give you joy because everything is beautiful in your eyes. But as we grow older, everything becomes ugly. When you were children, nobody taught you how to be happy. Some people think the reason why they are not happy is because of the responsibilities that they carry. The responsibilities you carry is not the reason why you are not happy. The reason why you are not happy is basically because of your perceptions of life has changed. You are operating on a different frequency. There are things that scare you now as an adult that does not scare you when you were a child. Vivek Viswa says, bro, my perception of life and my frequency of life differs day by day, or even to make it worse, it changes by hour. That's interesting. To stay on a higher perception is that you cannot enjoy life when your perception of life is hostile, when your perception of life is in fear, when your perception of life is in being defensive, being protective. You cannot enjoy life. You cannot experience exactly what the purpose of life is actually there for you to experience. Now, I'm not specifically talking about emotion. I'm actually talking about frequency. And that frequency, it was built the perception you have. When you begin to increase yourself in the spiritual sense, you begin to see life as life is so beautiful. Regardless of everything you are going through, life is just so beautiful. Everything you begin to realize when you begin to grow in the spirit sense, first of all, you begin to realize that we are all actors. We are all acting. Regardless, including you, including every single person, everyone is acting in one way or the other. And so the question is this: the higher you go, the higher everything becomes, the more everything becomes interesting in your mind. So I would say this: there is something that certain individuals do not look at when they live their life. Part of my principle, it is not my principle. Please, when I say principle, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the principles of life. One of the things people are not aware of is the idea that there are music that you listen to that can change the frequency and your vibration in life. Listen carefully. There is a music you can listen to, and if you load that music very well at night and they play certain violins and certain music, it can put you into deep sleep. I'm not talking about substance now. If you are aware that everything sound has a power, I don't want you to look at it like someone is speaking. I'm speaking about spiritual sense. Spiritual sense is the things you are not mostly conscious of, but it affects you indirectly or directly. Let me take some time and just few seconds. Let me read. I am saying from bottom of my heart, my childhood days are innocent and happier, but my adulthood, I am somewhat corrupted, like I am influenced by money, con, gadgets, bike, etc. True. Now, I'm saying that if you want to enjoy the frequency of life, that means you want to see life as this is just an act going on. I want to live in a sense that I am always careful with some of my words because I don't want people to see it um, as statements that makes me feel or make it look like I think I know something, but it is something that is true, and I want to make sure all side of ego does not attach itself to what I say. If you want to live in a sense like I call it God mode, for example, God mode is like everything is happening in reality, but you can see it from a different realm. And when you see everything in different realm, you just begin to see that these things are just happening. There are things, and all these vessels that have consciousness inside of them, some of them are ignorant and some of them know what they are doing. And then you can see how they flow. So you must be on a different dimension to be able to see it. And that dimension you are in, it simply means that you are free from everything that you experience in life. So number one is that you have to be careful of the music you listen to. Some people like melodious music, heartbreak music, a music of um a music of someone broke my heart, a music of, even in fact, you listen to all kinds of music. I hear people when they say, I listen to all kinds of music. Now, when you lay down to sleep, and I'm going to speak like something, I am not even asking anyone to believe what I say, but I just want people to practice certain things if you can. When you lay down to sleep at night, when you choose a music to play, if you play a music that is going to uplift your spirit and make you feel great, or a music that is inspiring, you reduce that music, the frequency, you reduce it a little bit, and you just listen to it while you enjoy your day. When you fall asleep, when you wake up in the morning, what happens is you are going to feel great. You are going to feel great. Why do you feel great? The power of music, a lot of people do not understand that when the person speaks, I'm not just talking about melody or music. When people speak in and you're listening to your music, they are speaking to your subconscious. Your subconscious does not know what is true and what is not true. Your subconscious only knows what it hears. If you tell your subconscious anything, your subconscious is one of the things that actually manifests itself in the real world. There are a lot of us that exist on earth. Most things we do, we don't even know why we did those things. And the reason why you don't know why you do those things is simply because there's a side of you that is actually subconsciously getting the program and is accepting the program. And then Something happened in life and you react poorly to something, and when you react to it, you're like, that's not me. That's not how I would have done it. That is your subconscious. That is you. So that you, sometimes you might not even know it. You might not know him or you might not know her. So you have to be careful. What kind of music do you pay attention to? And if you're paying attention to music that the lyrics is heartbreaking, the ones that pollute your mind, I wouldn't even use the word that pollute the mind, the one that unless about adultery, fornication, or having women, or not taking women serious, or a man is breaking my heart, I can move without the man, it is not giving you strength. Don't think that any music you listen to actually gives you strength. It is speaking into your life. Music are prophecy. I have spoken to a lot of people that have challenges in getting a man. And I tell them, I've spoken to guys also. And when they speak, sometimes I just tell them, send me the list of your music that you listen to. Do you like music? They say yes. Send me few music you listen to. And when they send the list of their music, you will see their reality in their music. You would see their reality in their music. There were certain individuals that I spoke to, and then they were like, the music I listen to, I'm trying to find a man, but I am blessed to be able to be very successful. But I want a man, I don't need a man. Then listen to all their songs. You will be amazed how their reality, they keep repeating the same thing. They listen to the song, and the song is telling them, you don't need a man. You can go. And the song is so emotional, so melodious. If you are not careful, just because of the melody of a music, just because someone knows how to tune certain vibration and the rest of it, you would move into that frequency because it speaks subconsciously to your life. Vivek says, to be precise, I want to lead a happier life, live a happier life, like in the movie name of The Gods Must Be Crazy, like the African bro. And Ron says, it reminds me of the story of King Saul. He was being tortured mentally by evil spirits with feelings of fear and dread. When David played his harp, the frequency of his harp gave King Solomon peace. Oh, sorry, King Saul peace. It reminds me of the story of the King Saul. Okay. Absolutely. I want you to look at your life right now and look at the music you listen to. And please, someone can just tell me that the music I listen to has nothing to do with my life. Talk about your life and look also, no problem. And look at your life right now and look at the music you always listen to and do the correlation that your character or whatever you embody is part of the song that you listen to. You wouldn't know the music is shaping you. You think that you chose the music. Most people think that they are the one who choose music. It was the music that chose you. You didn't choose the music. Yes, you may use your money to buy the music because you thought the music is melodious. But when the music begins to change you subconsciously and you are listening to the lyrics of the song, it speaks subconsciously inside of you, and that becomes your reality. In fact, our reality is as a result of our subconscious programming. As I speak to you right now in English language, I am not thinking to speak the English language. You know why? When I was a child and I was growing up, they have subconsciously and consciously program me. And the program has gone into my subconscious that right now I am not thinking and speaking on alphabetical things. I am just flowing with you with English language that is not even the language of my culture or traditions. I am flowing. Why? Because subconsciously I have been programmed. Every time you speak English, every time you speak any language, it is the programming they've given to you. You have worked on it, that at some point you don't have to work on it. It is just manifesting itself. That is the power of music. If you live your life and you can reflect, you will realize that there was something, an incident that happened to you sometimes that make you choose a kind of song. And because you chose those kind of song, you begin to listen to that song. That song begins to speak into your soul, and that song becomes your reality. That's number one. I am careful of the song that I listen to. Now, the next one I'm going to touch on is part of my spiritual journey. There are few things I use in my life at this junction. You can talk to me about something that I don't know or I haven't experienced, but I can give you a response when I'm in that zone. Let me close my window. I can give you a response and I can speak to you even though I have not had that experience, and I can embody a lot of things. Part of the things I have been able to do, these things are not the things I've been able to do. These are the things that just exist in life. One of it tends to be that I do meditation. And if you want a better life for you, first of all, you have to be careful of the song you listen to. A song that does not prophesy in a way you want your life to reflect, do not listen to that song. I repeat, a song that does not represent what you want your life to reflect to be, do not listen to the song. For the last time, I repeat, a song that does not reflect what you want your life to be, do not listen to the song. Or else, it is going to speak to your subconscious and your life would only go towards what that music is actually doing to you. Most of us do not understand the power of music. Secondly, I talk about breath work. What I do is, I think I've explained sometimes what the good part of breath work is. The way we breathe right now is basically because we are taught to breathe in this air, in this way. And I don't really want to go much deeper into breath work, but I want to tell you something. There's an importance of breath work. Breath work is that in a day, at least you have 5 minutes that you can breathe in and you get that breath into your tummy. Now, from your tummy to your brain, from your brain to your tummy, it goes through your nursery, but you can always breathe in deep and deep, in and out. And when you are doing these things, what you are actually doing is that you are relieving the stress inside of you. You are relieving the anxiety that you most likely cannot grab your hands on. And because you are releasing all these things, the importance of that breath work is this. I want to ask you a question, and I know you can actually answer. Apart from your breath, what are you? Who are you apart from your breath? If you think that you are a king, if you think that you are a queen, if you think that you are powerful, whatever you think you are, without breath, what do you think you are? And Ron says, that's true. She's referring to the music. That's true, brother. I believe that that is why there is much crime in the African American community with the youth, influenced by the music industry that encourage gang life, violence, guns, sex, money, and drug. It is as simple as ABC. Some people do not even understand that few of the people who actually controls the world actually understand this. I told people certain things, and when I told people few things, that when I was in jail, I observed a lot of things, and then I saw exactly what they are doing. In jail, when I was in jail, I realized that the warders in the jail are smuggling in drugs. Any kind of drugs you want. If you want weed, if you want colos, anything you want, they are going to give it to you. And you can smoke, you can take any pill you want, they give you those pills. But one thing they don't give you is they don't give you alcohol. They understand the concept and the power of alcohol. So those people that are on drugs, they give you any drugs that is going to weaken you, put you on ecstasy. Those are the drugs that the world are bringing in for the inmates. Any drugs that will put you in ecstasy, that will make you sleep off, that will weaken your mentality, they will bring it in. They wouldn't give you alcohol. The reason is this: when you're taking drugs and the rest, they can direct you. They chase people like goats and dogs every single time to control the people. The amount of people in some prisons are 100 times or 50 times, I can't even say 80 to 100 times more than the warders, yet the warders control the people. In fact, one person can beat a lot of warders, would defeat a lot of warders, but yet the warders control a lot of people. Why? They control them through the food, and they don't let them taste alcohol, because alcohol makes them come to a point in their mind, and they are like, they reflect on their situation and they want to do something about it. So when people take alcohol, it's like, oh God, my life is miserable. I need to get out of this place. In every means, I have to get out right now. Once they think about it, now they are going to face the warders. So warders never allow alcohol, but they can chip in drugs. And one says, okay, I think that's a past message. So the idea of breath work is this: you are a nobody without your breath. You are nothing without your breath. The sooner you acknowledge that you are nothing without your breath, the easier you understand the importance of breath. Breath is not drama. When you have a full breath inside of you, you can relieve yourself of a lot of stuff. And I'm not talking about breath of you standing in a posture and acting and doing all these dramatic things and you call them yoga. That's not what I'm saying. I am talking about real breath work, because that is the essence of your existence. Without breath, everyone is dead. But the problem is that in society today, we do not talk about breath because we think it's just there. There are things that you can harness. Right now, as I speak to you, if you just take 30 seconds to practice what I am about to tell you, you are going to experience something. And it's not going to be funny. I'm not supposed to show out this part, but I will show you exactly how I do it before I proceed to the next one. How do we continue with breath work? To make sure that the power, what is the power behind breath work? The power behind breath work is that is what fuels our consciousness. You are only conscious because you are alive. You are only alive because you can breathe. But you are thinking that sometimes, as much as my nose is breathing, that means I am receiving everything from life. You're not. Sometimes take out 5 minutes or 10 minutes in a day to have full breath work. And this is how you can have full breath work. You can decide. I always tell people I have different method. There's one you can do right now that you are going to you become unconscious. The better word for it is that you are going to faint. I can teach you a breath work right now. If you practice it wherever you are going to faint. That is, and when I mean you faint, is that you are going to faint for like 10 to 20 seconds and you are going to experience something else. And in that dimension, if you practice it frequently, just get a book like this. Just get a book like this and a pen. And when you practice it and you do exactly what I ask you to do, you are going to fall. I'm not the one to tell you you are going to fall or you're not going to fall. You're definitely going to trip off. When you trip off and you wake up, you are going to feel some things within your body. But there are many ideas in this life that actually goes through the air. Some people think they come up with an idea. Everything that we can do on this earth is already in the atmosphere, but we cannot see them with our eyes. Haven't you realized that some of the ideas you come up with, you see at that point that nobody has that same idea? You are the only person who has that idea. But the moment you see that you have the idea, suddenly you see somebody else talk about that same idea. And you're like, nobody told me this, but I have this idea. Right now that I have this idea, is this person copying my idea? It is simply because there are vast parts of universe that we cannot see with our eyes. The knowledge of life, the principles of life exist already. But because we cannot tap to these things, we think we are the one doing some things. Few things are coming to us. We are not the one actually making those things happen. So one of the things I do with breath work is that I can use breath work to relieve myself of stress. And I can also use breath work to be able to gather knowledge from the universe. And this is how it goes. You can sit and you can take your spine up. The purpose why I sit upright and make my spine this way is solely because when you are cuffed in this way, you are actually relaxing on your intestine. And some of us find it easy to breathe this way. You are not fully breathing. But when you are at your spine, you are accepting the full breath inside of you. So I would just do maybe 20 breath, and then just to showcase few things to you, and I know you will be able to do the same thing. And if you do it, tell me what you feel. Now, when you do it, first of all, I want you to understand that thoughts are going to come into your mind. All kinds of thoughts. The thought of the past, what is going on right now, what can happen in the future, everything, thoughts are going to be coming into your mind. But the idea around it is that whatever thought is coming in your mind are just thoughts. You are not what you think. Everything you think you are not those things. Those are just identity. So you begin to see all your identity, all what you have mixed yourself up with, they begin to come into your mind. Those are the first step you are going to experience. So I'm not telling you that you are going to experience the universe or God. No, those are the first thing you experience. But when you come out of it, then you will see something different. Now, when I relieve myself this way, I can breathe about 20 breaths, and the last breath I'm going to breathe, I am going to seize that breath. Now, the purpose of seizing that breath, it is like I am trying to be conscious of the fact that everything I am is basically because I can breathe. Everything this vessel is able to capture is basically because of the fact that you can breathe. And because you can breathe, that is the only reason why you are alive. But when you have a lot of breath inside of you, your body begins to awaken to a different experience. So one of it is this. I just go this way. It's maybe I go 15, but mostly if you want to do it, just go 30. You can repeat it like 3 times. It is this way. I breathe in with my nose. I breathe out with my mouth. I breathe in with my nose. I breathe out with my mouth. Now, when you breathe out with your mouth, what you're doing is you are exhaling. I don't know what that is. I can't put my mouth on it. They say we inhale oxygen and we breathe out. Is it carbon dioxide? So whatever we are breathing out, let it come out of our mouth. So we are receiving pure energy from the universe. So it goes this way. Now, if you can look at my eyes, you would think that I've smoked weed. Every substance we take, like weed, like whatever, any drugs you take. I'm not talking about real drugs. I'm talking about any herbs you can take, like you smoke or anything, stuff like that. It touches a part of your brain. There's a name they call it. They call it reptilian side of you. Is it reptilian side of you or something? Receptive side of you. Your body can actually harness those things, but it's basically because you are not conscious your body can harness it. So you actually have to take a substance to awaken that part of your mind. Now, when I did the last breath, I didn't breathe out exactly how I was breathing. What I did was I exhaled a little and I held my breath. Now, when you do this, you can hear your heart beat. Please, if you think I'm just saying things, please, you can just practice it now and you're going to see it. Now, this one I just did is the one to just relieve the stress out of you. I am not talking of the one that will make you go unconscious. The one that will make you go unconscious, you have to stand and you do it. Now, when you put your foot on, you are not late. I'm on the second subject. Welcome, Who the Truth. When you put your leg on the ground, I am sitting right now on the bed, so you can be sitting on a chair and do this particular stuff. But number one, you stretch out your your spine, and then you take in the breath. The last breath, you bring out little from your mouth, and then you hold yourself for as long as you can. You would see your thoughts play roles into your life, and then you are going to also hear your heart. You would listen and you would hear your heart breathe. Normally, for you to hear your heart breathe or beat, you might need to put your hand on your chest, or a doctor has to put something, or someone have to listen to your chest. But this time, you would be able to listen and hear completely your breath from your ear. So, all these things are to relieve anxiety or stress or whatever you are going through. That is for one part. The other part I'm going to show you maybe some other time. Now, the next one is that apart from the music we pay attention to that influence our life subconsciously, we need to also understand that there's something we need to do as people. And part of the power of nature is that you need to learn to speak into your life. And to speak into your life, I'm not talking about prayer. People think that prayer is something that you are requesting from God, and God is going to answer your prayer. When you get into the spiritual part, you will realize that the reason why some things are not working for you is even because of your prayer. Why? Most times our prayer comes from the part of lack, from the mindset of lack. So when you lack something, you begin to request. Every time you lack something, you begin to request for something. And it does not give you the mindset of abundance. Rather, it gives you a mindset of a receiver. A receiver is not the powerful person. A giver is the powerful person. This is part of the things that a lot of people do not understand about the concept of praying. When you are praying to God, or you are praying to whatever you're praying to, and you are requesting, you are a beggar at that particular point. And a beggar actually lack. You are the spark of the universe. You are the spark of God. You are the spark of the source of life. Every single time you ask from the universe will slowly give it to you. But everything you think you are, and you prophesy yourself to be those things, what you are doing is you are manifesting. Manifestation and praying are two different things. Prayer comes from the part of lack. Prophesying comes from the aspect that when you prophesy to yourself, the only thing you have after prophesying to yourself is to manifest what you have prophesied. And some people think prophecy is to just say that one day Jesus is coming very soon. One day a man will be born, King of Kings. No, that's not just what prophecy is. Prophecy is you can prophesy to your life what you want. The question is this: what do you want? And you have to ask yourself question. I hope what I want is not basically because of the society expectation. I hope what I want is the thing that I want for myself and I want for others. The best way to be able to choose the best prophecy you are to prophesy into your life is to understand that you prophesy what you would want for yourself and what you will want in the life of others. Don't receive what you don't want others to be able to experience. So if I ask of wealth, that means I want everyone around me to be wealthy. If I ask of joy, that means I want everyone around me to be joyful. But in this process, you don't ask, because when you ask, you don't actually have it. You can't give what you don't have. So when you pray, sometimes it is not you giving to God. You are requesting from God that you lack. But everything as God has made us, we actually embody every aspect of God. And if you realize in the book of Genesis, what was God doing? God was prophesying. He says, let there be light, and there was light. Let the suns be separated from the stream. Let there be land. Let there be this. You have to prophesy to yourself. And Ron says, amen. God said we have power to speak things into existence, just as he spoke the word into existence. Now faith imagine it and walk into it, and it will manifest in your life. Simple. And how do we do this? There is a power of we humans moving around. When you are moving around, you are feeling the energy within a particular environment. When you are in a particular spot, you can only feel that energy. But when you are moving around and you are prophesying to yourself, this is not what you need to do every single day. I'm not converting you into an herbalist. I am telling you the power that is within you that you can actually harness for you to be able to know certain things, for you to be able to experience certain things that are already there in life. I am not teaching you these things. I am only opening your eyes to the things that you could do that you never realized in the first place. So, in a house, you can walk around that house and you begin to prophesy to yourself what you want to manifest in your life. And what you want means you lack. What I mean is that I am this. This is who I am. I would be great. I would manifest greatness. I am this. You have to say those things and you move around. Trust me, you believe it or not, your subconscious is listening to you. You don't have to believe it. Just keep saying it. You don't have to believe it. Just keep saying it. Do you know so many times that a lot of people have lied to themselves, and they lie so much in themselves to themselves that they believe their own lie? When you lie a lot to yourself, you begin to believe your lie, that your lies are true. The same thing with the subconscious. When you begin to prophesy into yourself and you move around, you don't have to go very far, but you just move around within maybe your room, and you move around and you prophesy those things into yourself, it begins to manifest. That is another point that I am going to tell you. Now, the third one I am going to tell you is part of my secret. And this part of secret is that when you are giving, according to Who the Truth is speaking about Nikola Tesla, that's true. I want to talk to you about one particular subject of what I do in my life. When I give to people, I do not give to someone that I cannot make the person my friend. And I know people are going to say, what is this guy saying? Whenever people go around, you're going to see some people in the African way. It happens, and I know even in the Western culture, it is there, that some people would have money and you go to give to the beggar. Don't give to a beggar that you cannot make him or her your friend. Please, I'm not giving you as a principle. I am opening your eyes to something. Do not give to someone that you cannot make that person your friend. When you are sowing a seed in people's life, a lot of people would say, I sow a seed in this person's life. The reason why I'm giving to this person is because I know they need it. And with that, God is going to listen to my prayers. It really doesn't work. The idea of you giving to people is that you give to them and you just experience the ability of giving. It might not make sense to you. That means that when you give, you are not expecting anything in return. What you are actually doing is that when I give to someone, I close my eyes. And I'm not saying you have to do it. The reason why I close my eyes when I give to people is that I want to experience the energy of giving. It is a spiritual principle that when you give, rather than you to give and you expect, or rather than you to give and you pray, what you're giving is that I am giving you and I am experiencing within myself the spirit of giving. When you are giving to someone and you are experiencing the spirit of giving, what spirit sounds inside of you is a subconscious spirit of abundance. You start feeling something of abundance. You start feeling joy that I am in the position to give to a kind like me. Who the truth says that's the energy of life frequency. That's true. When you are giving, do not give to people that I am giving to them so that I would receive something or someone is going to favor me. Someone is going to favor me is that you are also coming from the space of lack. Even though you are giving, you still have the subconscious belief of lack. So you are expecting the universe to give to you or someone is going to favor you. When you give to people, experience the spirit of giving. And when you are experiencing the spirit of giving, what happens is that you are only speaking to the spirit of abundance inside of you. That's just what you're doing. And when you are speaking from of abundance, you are definitely going to let me just put it this way. If you have abundance inside of you and you feel the spirit of abundance, nobody is going to teach you to be joyful. Have you ever seen someone in the spirit of abundance and they are not joyful and they are not happy and they are not loving? I haven't experienced anyone. Now, here is it. Take a moment and reflect. What is the time that you are joyful and you are happy that you are expecting something? Every time every human being have been able to be joyful and happy, you have never expect anything. What you're doing is that you are celebrating something. So you are celebrating in abundance. In the spirit of abundance, that is only where you find joy. I repeat it again. There is no human being on this earth that can be very joyful and happy and they are expecting something. You are only joyful when you have received, when you are feeling the spirit of abundance. So sometimes some people would say, what if I'm expecting someone to give me money? The only reason why you are feeling happy is not because you are expecting someone to give you money. It's because you are feeling that the person has already given you the money. It's just for the money to reflect itself. Now, if someone promised you money and the person have not given it to you, what you are going to do, and if you actually need the money, what you are going to do is, God, please, let the person send the money. That is not joy. You can feel like, oh, I am expecting something. But when you are joyful and you are totally happy and you feel love, It is out of the spirit of abundance. So whenever you are giving out to people, do not give it like you sow a seed. Give it like you find yourself in the spirit of abundance. And in the spirit of abundance, you are feeling joy. You are experiencing love. It is a technique that wouldn't make you fall into the spirit of lack. Lack is a mindset. That is one more. Let me see few something I can also touch on. Yes. Before I go into the cultural way of what I do, or something that people can practice, is that if you want to awaken some spiritual side of you, you need to be aware of the fact that there are few things in life that can harness your spiritual path. One of it is honey. Um, Sometimes some of these things are very difficult to explain because you don't want people to see you as either too cultural, but I want people to understand that these are the things that exist. Okay. For you to be awake, some people might think that what you need is you need caffeine. And for you to need caffeine, for you to have caffeine so you don't sleep, sometimes you might think that you need Lipton, for example, or you need a drug, or you need energy stuff. All these things are chemical. Yes, they have caffeine inside of them, but they have other things that are applicable to them that are chemicals, and they are negative. So one of the plants that is good, for example, is like bitter cola. Bitter cola is something that when you chew, it's it has natural caffeine. Okay, Kolade, where are you heading to? You want to go to shop? All right. All right, bye. So there's a power with honey. This is not a must, but if you can, please do it. To always say that plant seeds into people's lives, help others, and don't expect in return. The seed is growth in relationship and wisdom. A closed hand would never receive life gifts. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the idea of honey is that honey is kind of powerful. It can help us to have an awakeness of spiritual path. And sometimes I don't really like saying all these things, but sometimes you can take honey. When you take honey, it shouldn't be every day. It might be twice in a week, anytime. These are just substances that are given to us by nature, and you can use these particular things to do exploit. For example, those people who actually understand the African culture and traditions, you would realize that most of the things we do in Africa, you might call it fetish or whatever, we have to use a substance to be able to achieve those things. A substance, it doesn't have to be any technology or chemical stuff. We have to use a substance, a root from the soil itself. So when you take honey, for example, and you're taking honey, I don't know why, honey awakens the side of your spiritual path. That means if you take honey and you meditate, what do I mean by meditation? Meditation is to reflect on yourself what you truly want. That is what meditation is. Reflecting on yourself on what you are actually seeking for. So if you're seeking to grow yourself in spirit, to be more awakened, when you are meditating and you take on it before you actually meditate, it helps the energy for you to be able to, meditate more, and it awakens your spiritual path. Then, one of my principle also is the idea of, before I proceed, let me just read what it says. Bro, the necklace you are wearing, same as us Kuki tribe of India. That's from Jangming Jangming Gang. By I'm sorry I can't spell your name, but I understand what you're saying. Who the truth says and wrong, true. Now, one of the things I do, and I think this one is very important. Water is also a key element to a man's life. Honey, palm tree, and so many more. True. One of the things I want to mention to us right now, um, it's something that I think is going to be very important with what I'm trying to narrate here. Whenever you find yourself in pain, whenever you feel maybe heartbreak or something happen to you, and it is a painful experience or a painful thing, what I try to do is I don't try to run away from the pain. I even tell you that the best thing you can do with pain is to feel it. So that means that whenever you are going through certain things in your life, what you can do, if those things are not favorable to you, experience those things to its full potential. If you feel hot, experience that hot. If you feel pain, experience that pain. Now, what is the reason why I say you should experience the pain rather than run away from the pain? When you run away from a pain or something that is painful to you, what you do is that every single time it creates defensive way of thinking inside of you. And to a certain extent, it is good. But when you experience pain fully, maybe when you feel a heartbreak and someone says, I don't love you, and you feel your heart is breaking or you're feeling something, don't look at what the person says. Look at the pain that you are feeling. That pain that you feel is a method of consciousness. The consciousness side of it is that when you can experience true pain, whatever pain life has given to you, one thing you would learn in life is never to inflict such pain to another person. What you are actually doing is that you are building your mind to choose love over hurting any other person. If you do not feel the pain and you are able to run away from the pain, when someone offends you, you most likely will look at the person like, I know a kind of pain that I've experienced before. I can let you experience that pain. You become defensive and you can use that pain as a weapon. But rather than you to use the pain as a weapon, what you do with the pain is that you use it to awaken your consciousness. And because you feel something truly, if you truly feel something and the thing is not pleasant, what you realize is that you don't want other people to experience that negative thing. It is also a method that awakens our spiritual path. Then the last one I'm going to touch on is an African cultural thing. And I know a lot of people might not understand this, but please, if you can practice it, do practice it. It doesn't work instantly. I'm not going to tell you it works instantly because, first of all, anything that tends to be spiritual, for example, they are existing the moment you have done them. It is later they begin to reflect in your life. There's a cream they call shell butter in African culture. We have what we call shell butter. Um, in the Yoruba culture, we call it ori. But please, if you have any shell butter around you, or you can lay your hands on any shell butter, please get a shell butter. If you want life to favor you for something, this is just for you rather than all these things I've said in abundance. If you want life to increase the energy of favoring you, get a shell butter and get a salt. Get shell butter and get salt. It's look as if I am turning my people to herbalist. At least you know shell butter is not just an African thing, or it's not a rich. When I spoke about honey, honey is there. So when I'm speaking about shell butter right now, if you get a shell butter, you can put it on your left palm in the morning, in the afternoon, anytime, in the midnight, anytime you feel like. Once you have a shell butter, just take a little bit of shell butter, put it in your hand, and then take salt and put it in your hand, and you rub that salt and the shell butter, and you prophesy good things into your life, favor or whatever. And when you're done prophesying it, you repeat it over and over. Do not ask of it like a request. Ask of it in abundance. I am this, I am this. I receive favor from this. You just do that over and over again. You are prophesying into your life, and then you go and wash your hands with ordinary water. When you do, the universe, you are going to see the power behind it. This is not I'm trying to look for the best way to put these words. It is that they are there. God has put those things there for us. Sometimes we don't just know how to, how to actually harness the things that God has given to us. This is not you being an idol worshiper. It is more or less like there's a power with water, and now there's a power with shell butter. And it took time when I was young and they tell me things like this. These are part of the principles that I have abandoned. And I ask myself why. But the reality is that there are few things in life that you might not know the reasons behind those things, why they are so powerful. Only what you can do is to use them. In fact, in today's world, when we talk about water, a lot of us know how to use water. Some people know how to produce water. Some people know the chemicals or the components of water. But when you ask yourself a question, what is water really? A lot of us cannot define what water is. Who the truth says, herbalist isn't evil. It is the perception from people who made it seem evil. So when you take a shell butter and you put a salt in it and you prophesy into yourself, it's kind of honest. You might not see it that same day. You might not see it the second day. But the spiritual things has a way that it manifests itself without you being aware that it is actually manifesting itself. But when you look back, maybe a week or 2 weeks later, you would realize that this particular statement I just told you right now actually works. Yeah, in the Bible it says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And not knowledge simply means you knowing. And the idea of knowing is that you have to seek for something and you find something along the line, and then you still learn about those particular things. According to the Greek word, no simply no simply means knowing, and the ledge is like taken from, it's like absorbing information from something. So a lot of us need to understand that most of the things that have been given to us by the universe are given to us by God, and there's nothing we can do about it. The only thing is that we can make choice to use them as to our benefit, or we use them to our own detriment. So when you are going through tough time in life, first thing I talked about experiencing pain. So you don't, if you experience pain fully and you're not trying to run away from the pain, you wouldn't want to hurt people. And so you are going to be living more in the idea or the perceptions of love rather than the perceptions of inflicting pain on people. Then I spoke about the music we listen to, how you need to be careful of the music you listen to. Then I talk about breath work. Then I talk about moving around and prophesying into your life, good things. Then I talk about when you give to people, not expecting in return, but experiencing the act of the giving itself, experiencing the abundance that gives you joy. And out of abundance, you are going to be able to experience the full aspect of joy. And joy does not exist when you lack. Joy only exists when you can experience abundance. These are part of the things that I wish to share with you guys. Yes, I have seen people who are able to pick up things. According to Annie Rose, it says that she agrees with Who the Truth by saying that Satan also takes what God has created for good and twist it for evil. Now, for me, I only know what I can do to make things good. I do not focus my time on things that can make me hurt anyone, because when you increase your spiritual consciousness to a level, to a degree, the ability to hate is very low. You can't. It is like spirituality itself actually stays in the spirit of love, but you can also manipulate spiritual path to, you can say you want to attack people or stuff like that, but I don't know. My own conscious side does not know evil. All it knows is love. And if you want to be able to know few things in your life, everything I've spoken about, you can practice those things and you'll be able to realize the power of the universe. That's what I decide to share with you. Those who are going to practice few of it can practice few of it. The idea of everything I have spoken about is the idea of you to feel joy and feel abundance inside yourself. Trust me, in the spirit of abundance, you will not be able to explain with the words of your mouth. The words of your mouth is not enough to explain what the spirit of abundance is. And when I tell people that I experience the spirit of abundance, it is that it is not like I am experiencing it, it is already part of me. And because it is part of me, it makes my life kind of very an effortless life. It took some time for me to be able to get to that, you know, to all this stuff, to be able to get to this position. And when I talk about the spirit of abundance, I'm not talking about just the material things. It is not about just the material things. It is about you being able to feel every good thing that life has to offer. Ranjit Gaikwad says that I'm sorry, my internet pack is ending today. I won't be able to watch live after 12 p.m. No problem. No problem. Please, everyone, um, be conscious of everything I've spoken about regarding love, regarding joy, regarding giving, regarding the type of music we decide to listen to. Trust me, there is no difference between, there is a physical difference between human being and the music you play. But the difference is just the idea of the the fact that there's someone physical and there's someone that is not physical, but the person is actually there. So when you listen to the voice of people or of music and the lyrics is a negative lyrics, a lyrics that affirm to your heartbreak, a lyrics that affirm to negative things that does not uplift your spirit, and you're paying attention to that, it is going to become your reality as time goes on. And not even the universe can save you from it. Not even the universe can save you from it because you are making those choices. The work of the universe is to support every single thing we decide. That is the work of the universe, to support every choice. If you want to live, if you want to live a long life, if you practice the principle of living long, the universe will support you. If you want to die, hold your nose and hold your breath. Tie a rope around your neck. The universe will support you. Every choice the vessel of your body have decided to do, the universe always supports you. If you keep seeking for trouble, the universe supports you to make it more of your reality. Thank you for joining, Mr. Rusty. Rusty. Rusty has become one of the number one person on the platform. The moment we start, a lot of people who come in, the first thing they're asking of is Rusty. Rusty, where is Mr. Rusty? Hi, Rusty. In fact, some people think that I am Rusty. I wouldn't say that I don't experience sadness or I don't experience sometimes heartbreak. I don't know when I experienced these things last. Sadness and all these things. I wouldn't say I don't experience them, but what I can say is I don't know when I experienced them last. And the reason is basically because when I understood the principles of life, it kind of liberates me from all the unnecessary drama that I have been inflicting on myself unconsciously. And I know a lot of us are doing these things also unconsciously. And sometimes we are self-inflicting a lot of pain in ourselves to ourselves, and we are looking for a solution to that pain. I will tell you, wow. And Ron, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I really do appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. Everything I'm trying to do is to make sure that I open the eyes of people to the things that are not the things that are possible, because possibilities are just there in life. It is to a fact that there are things that are already there in life that we are not seeing those things. And most times in life, if we can reflect, all of us who have actually lived our life right now to this stage, if you're above 20 years of age, if you reflect on your actions and you drop away your ego, you would realize that a lot of things that you experience in your life, you you inflict a lot of it to your life than it actually does come. The universe only supports us on what we decide to do. The pain of our life sometimes, I'm not saying that there are no tragedies in life. In fact, there are tragedies in life. There are real tragedies in life. But I always say something. Whenever tragedy comes, the beauty and the story about Job was not what happened to Job. Every time we read the story about Job, what we are saying is that it is not about the people who died. It is that who was Job when things were difficult for him. Because he held the spirit together, because he lived in the spirit of abundance, everything comes back to him. When religious people talk about Jesus, the story of Jesus is not about the miracles he did. The story of Jesus is not about the resurrection of Jesus. That is not what makes Jesus powerful. What made Jesus powerful was the time he was going through the hardest time in his life. And rather, he was saying that, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. Those are the powerful story of Jesus. Some people cannot fathom. Some people are thinking that the only reason why they worship Jesus was because he resurrected from the dead. If it was about Jesus resurrecting from the dead, if Jesus has actually rained a curse on those people, and he says, you that have nailed me on the cross of Calvary, I would make sure your life ruined. You all shall die and you all shall perish. I do not care if Jesus resurrects from dead. He wouldn't have the glory that he has. I do not care if Job in the Bible have compromised during the time that he was going through hardship in his life, and he has said, I forsake you, God Almighty. I bet you we wouldn't be seeing Job in the same light that we are seeing Job right now. But the reality is that there are perceptions of life and there are frequency of life that we can live in. And when you live in certain frequency, you can be in the frequency of love and bliss. And in the frequency of love and bliss, you do not know hatred. It is the reason why when people kind of insult me, I kind of smile. When I smile, it's because it's amazing. And to me, I sympathize with them because I understand the frequency that they operate in. And the vibration is very low. So with that being said, I've been able to share part of my things because I don't want to really share too many things and people will start saying, oh, is this guy this? Is this? No. They are just simple metrics to life. And when you understand those metrics, you will be able to navigate life in a positive light. So thank you everyone for joining me today. Thank you so much, Eniron. Thank you, Mr. Rusty, for coming late. Thank you, Ranjit Gaikwad, Wood Truths, Con, Jam. Oh God, that name is strong. Jangling Ta, whatever. Vibe Fei, everyone who has spoken to me today, with me today. Jack Attack 427. I appreciate everyone who has joined me. Please, if there's any question you want to ask me, if there's any contribution you want to add to whatever I've said, please, the floor is open. Um, the floor is actually open. We have 2 minutes. If I see any contribution, we can look inside and discuss about it. If there's something that maybe we have to round up for now at the moment, and then later, I most likely will be coming live maybe around 9 p.m. with a different message. Um, it is always a blessing. And in Ron, I'm actually very grateful. I appreciate your support. Rupesh K says that my marriage life is not happy, brother. What have, what do I have to do? I think that's what he's trying to say. Your marriage life is not happy, brother. Um, Here's what I'm going to say. I know there are contexts to these things. When you said that your marriage life is not happy, one of the things I would have loved to ask you is that, are you happy? Rupesh K, are you happy? Can you please just respond? Are you happy? And what do you think is the reason why you are not happy? Okay, you are not happy. So, what is the reason why you think that you are not happy in the marriage, or you and your spouse, you are not happy in the marriage? She is not obeying your words. Can you give an example of words that she's not actually obeying? Example, any example, just the smallest one. Rupesh K, I'm waiting, so I would be expecting a response from you. Let's see a way to figure this out. For those who are live also, you can also give out your opinion to Rupesh K. I want him to bring out his words first before I tell him my own perception. Give an example of what you're telling your wife, and do you think Musa and Moses is a coincidence? I don't understand the context of that question. Who the truth? Rupesh K, I will advise her for the sake of her goodness, but she won't obey it. Rupesh K, first of all, I can tell you this, that number one, you can make a decision. If you make a decision to talk to me privately, that's fine. You can reach out to me and we can discuss about this on WhatsApp, or you can write me through email, and we'll be able to communicate well on this. But with that being said, you said in your marriage you are not happy. And then I ask you a question. I say, are you happy? You said you are not happy. How can you give what you don't have? To be a happy person, you don't need people to make you happy. What you are actually doing sometimes is that you are squeezing things from people to make you feel a certain kind of way. Let me give you a perspective on happiness. Children are happy the moment they are fed. The moment the needs of a child is met, children are naturally happy and they jump around and they play. But as people grow, some people, for them to be happy, all they need is for them to take alcohol or to jubilate in party. And the moment rejoicing and dancing around, going to the club is what makes you happy, then that means you are squeezing happiness from an event. And so you have to participate in it over and over again so that you can feel that happiness. The same way you find some people, they find themselves taking drugs. The idea why they are taking drugs is for them to feel a particular kind of experience. And they begin to abuse substance so they feel that experience. So they are not sufficient enough to be able to produce the experience for themselves. Rather, they are squeezing it out of something else. So if you're not happy, the truth is this. Maybe the reason why you're not actually happy, but what you're actually doing is that you're using the excuse of the disobedience of your wife to make you not experience happiness. She's not the reason why you are not happy. You are the reason why you are not happy. You are using her as the excuse, because if you don't have the excuse to say that, oh, this is the reason why I am not happy, if there's no reason for it, then you have to reflect and you say that I am the problem of my life. Human being, what we mostly do is that we love to point fingers at something. We want to find an excuse for something so the fault does not come from us. So the best thing you can do is to find a way to make yourself happy. But those particular conversations are things that we can discuss offline. Alisa Johnson from Canada, thank you for joining. Rupesh K says, I will advise her for the sake of her goodness, but she wouldn't obey. This is it. Sometimes you tell people to do what you are not doing. And trust me, you know why my wife loves to cook? My wife loves to cook. She knows I know how to cook. Everything my wife does, many things my wife does, I can do the same thing. In fact, I do the things that I do and I carry her along. You are not to, she's not your slave or anything. You have to show her. First of all, you have to be happy. When she sees the happiness inside of you, then she wants to associate herself with you. Miserable people, this is what miserable people can do sometimes. And I'm not saying you are miserable. When people are miserable and they are not finding happiness in themselves, they try to make other people unhappy. And when they try to make other people unhappy, If you also become miserable, then you have joined their group. But if an unhappy person tries to attack the happiness of another person, if they cannot, and they see that you are not bothered by how they are trying to influence you, they begin to seek for a way to kind of associate themselves with you. Because trust me, to be a winner simply means a happy person. And everybody wants to associate themselves with a winner. The best way to know that you are a winner is that you are happy. And because you are happy, when she sees that everything you do is joyful to you, she would want to participate in it. The only thing you rather do is stop giving her instruction and start showing her how to do it and how it makes you happy. She would see happiness inside of it. You know, in children, when you see certain children and they are teaching them in classes, you realize that um, to teach a child things, or when children are in kindergarten, they put in a teacher that has the same ability to be happy, to rejoice and to dance with those students or with those children. That is how the children are willing to learn. Forget the fact that we are now adults. We still have the mentality of a baby. The only thing is that we are using other things as excuse. So if you are showing joy inside of you and you're telling her that I am joyful for having you, I'm joyful that we are living this life together, and I'm grateful for having you, and regardless of any circumstances, I'm happy. She would see that and you're showing her exactly what you want her to do, not instructing her. She most likely would do it. But I think you can reach out to me. We can speak about this more extensively. Lucky Amen. Shout out. Thank you very much, Lucky Amen, for joining. Please, if you haven't subscribed and you're on live, please do subscribe to the channel. Rupesh. Okay, and Ron says that was the obedience when you first married her. That means, was she following your instruction when you were about to marry her? That's a question. Who the truth says that Musa and Moses are the same meaning and both are pointing to drowning out from water? Our parents are the problem for me. She's taking care of her parents, but not my parents. My parents are taking care of her like their own daughter. Who the truth says happiness is a choice? Emiron, Ropeshke says, yes, Emiron. But due to her parents' bad advice, she has totally changed. Always her parents spread negativity against me. Rupesh K from Who the Truth says, Rupesh K, remember that you wouldn't be loved by everyone. And Ron says, Rupesh K, caregiving is very hard work. I am taking care of my mom and I couldn't imagine having to take care of two more. She may be tired and she needs help or something like that. So being influenced by her parents, show her love. The best thing you can do is actually to show her love. And you have to be able to be happy. You see, there's a lot of reasons for people to be miserable or not to be happy. Countless of reasons. If you don't want to be happy, you will find all reasons not to be happy. So Rupesh K, what I can tell you is this. As much as she makes decision to take care of her parents, I want you to understand that she sees that as a responsibility and a duty. If I were you, I would try to support her to take care of her parents. Maybe she thinks you're not concerned about her parents. Now, I'm not trying to fix the happiness problem because the happiness problem is what you can fix. I am just trying to talk about the problem, the issue, the reasons why you say you are not happy. Now, in a different way of viewing it, if she's taking care of her parents, if you are showing her the same concern that you love her parents, and you are willing to take good care of her parents, regardless of the fact that you may not have enough cash, but you're showing concern that you care about her parents. Whenever she says, I want to go see my parents, rather, if you have anything, go and you can give her and say, I am supporting you with this, to go show love to your parents, or tell your parents that I love them, or pass a message and support them. You also, as a person, even in her absence, you can hold her hands together and walk the journey to support her parents. The moment she realizes that you are in a journey with her together, the moment she can realize you are in a journey with her together, she begins to find a way to make sure that she reciprocates the same thing for you. Even a greedy person, there is a way to collect things from a greedy person. Someone who is very tight-handed, there is a method to take something from a greedy person. The only thing is that, do you understand the method? If a parent is our greatest concern, it is basically, sometimes it is about culture. Sometimes people have told her, maybe while she was growing up, that we did everything to make you who you are. We are the one who manifested you. We created you. In fact, we died before we are able to feed you. They might give a lot of things in her head, and while they are going through certain challenges, she might think she hold them a lot, and she cannot maybe fathom the idea of losing her parents, knowing that she has something that she can offer to her parents and she never did. It is a subconscious thing that might be there. So if you show her that you are in with her, and she's going through the same thing, and you're showing her that I love your parents even more than the way you love your parents, she will find a way to reciprocate the same thing. If you keep showing love to her parents in her absence and in her presence, and I'm saying this not that you do it basically because you want to manipulate her, but you want to really show that you truly love her. And if you love someone, you would be concerned about the person. And what is our own concern? Our concern at the moment is our parent. If her parents were doing much better in life, she most likely wouldn't be thinking much about her parents. She thinks her parent is in a situation that she needs to help them. So if you truly love her, move along this journey with her and show that love and support while you take care of your parent. But I promise you, if you can keep showing up for her and her parents, the narration is going to change after a period of time. They gave you their daughter initially. Regardless of anything, they still allow their daughter to be with you. That is to show that they don't completely hate you. Maybe they now feel that you've abandoned them. Maybe they felt that it is because you wanted their daughter, that was maybe the reason why you were nice to their daughter. Or you were nice to them. And now that you have gotten their daughter, you don't give a damn about them. Show the love, show her the support, show her parents the support, and trust me, she would reciprocate the same thing. Women are just that very simple. William Jason Soto. What a wonderful people I have over here. First time speaking, say principle is what makes up one's premortal spirit. Rupesh K says that enormous times I showed my affection to her, but no use. Lucky Amen, I have shout out your name before. Thank you for joining. Rupesh K. There is a love that comes from greed. There is a love that comes from greed. All right, welcome back. I repeat, Rupesh K. There is love that comes from greed. You know, you said a particular statement when you're talking to anyone here. You said you showed her your affection. The word affection comes from the word of need. The word affection does not come from the word of love. It is the need that you actually want her. When you want someone and you are not showing the complete care for that person, and the person is going through struggle, how would the person care about you? You didn't say that enormous times I showed my love to her. And if you show love to her, you have to show the love not just to her, but from the roots where she came from. You cannot love a woman and hate where she came from. Regardless of who they are. Because if they have not produced or nurtured, let me not use the word produce, if they've not nurtured her to be who she is, you wouldn't have loved her in the first place. She wouldn't have been part of your experience. So, for you to be, it's like you eating a fruit but hating the tree. You have nothing to do with the tree. You eat the fruit whenever the fruit comes, and you are not willing to water the tree that produced the fruit. How can you cherish a fruit without cherishing the tree? When you are only eating the fruits and you are not cherishing the trees because you are eating it simply because you only need it, and that might sound to her as a selfish reason, and she might see it from the spirit of lack. It might be that she loves you. She might really love you, but she might think that you only want something from her and you don't really care about her. And if that is the situation, trust me, that's the reason why you might be receiving what you're receiving. And Ron says that Rupesh K, keep on showing up and showing love. This is a season and just hold on, fight for your marriage. The man of thought is teaching you, please follow this instruction. It will be life to you. I hope, Rupesh K, you are able to comprehend at the end of the day. And I say we can dive in. Maybe you want us to discuss in depth. You can communicate with me any single time. We can discuss about it. Okay? But I think that if you show up for her, I don't care. There's nothing that you show love that does not reciprocate the same thing. And let me put it this way, this is very easy. There's a saying that they say is that whatever you invest in a woman, she's going to give you the same, she's going to give you more of those things. So that means people would say that if you give a woman a house, she would make it a home. If you give a woman a sperm, she gives you baby, she gives you children. If you shower a woman with care, she's going to show you abundance love. But trust me, there are things that we call spiritual seed. When you truly love someone and the person knows you love them, there's a difference when you love someone and there's a difference when you care about someone. It is difficult for you to just say you love someone basically because of a greed of you wanting that person. And there's a difference when you truly love someone and you care about that person. If you truly care about the person, you're not doing it out of selfish acts. She's your wife, you love her, and you want your marriage to work. If you want your marriage to work, the best thing you can do is to show up for her. She cares about her parents, show up for her parents. It doesn't necessarily have to be when she's around or when she's going to see her parents. When she wants to speak, are you actually paying attention to what she's saying? Or are you trying to speak? When she's talking, listen to her. When she talks about her parents, listen to her and ask, how can you help? And sometimes, if you know there are things you can do without her and it's going to relieve her parent, trust me, part of our joy at this moment is to see that our parents are doing fine. And if you truly say you want a happiness and you want to be happy, that means that if you see happiness inside of her, she can give you happiness. What is going to give her that happiness is seeing her parents doing fine. Show the parents the care that she actually wants to give to them, and that same thing is going to be reciprocated to you. As simple as ABC. In fact, if she thinks that you care so much about her parents, it becomes a psychological competition. I'm not saying it should be. It becomes a psychological competition, and she'll be like, this guy cares about my parents. Why not I care about his own parents? What can I do for your parents? Affection to those who are all selfish. Okay. Okay. I asked you a question before, and the question is, can you love loving a fruit and not loving the tree? You are right when you use the word affection because you actually need her. You need her that you have come to a conclusion in your mind that she's a selfish person. You are saying that you are not happy in your marriage, but you have concluded in your own mind that she is a selfish person. Please, If I tell you that my friend is a selfish guy, does it mean that I love my friend or my friend is a bad person? Maybe I am just friend with him because I need him. If I tell you that my president or somebody within my environment is a selfish person and I'm still associating myself with that person, because the word selfish simply means that it is a negative description of that particular individual. So when you say that she's selfish, or when you're implying that she's a selfish person, you're implying that she's a negative person. But why are you associating yourself with something that you know is selfish? It is simply because you also are needy and greedy. Needy and greedy, that means regardless of the fact that you know that this individual is negative, rather than you to detach from the negative or try to fix the negative to become positive, you are demanding from that which is negative to make you feel positive. The positive part that you are expecting from her is the positive side of love. And you say that a selfish person should give you happiness. My brother, do the maths. It can't work. Rupesh K, my brother, here's what I would also tell you. You are also my brother. There is a narration that is subconsciously in your mind, and that narration has already come to a conclusion, and you are only expecting love. It cannot happen magically without you changing the story you have about her. All of the existence of mankind is a story. And the story you hear about every individual is the way you begin to perceive them, even if you are not reacting according to the story of that person. Now, when they tell you that somebody comes to your house and the person that comes to your house is a thief, without you knowing if the person is a thief or not, in your mind subconsciously, you are aware and you are watching if that person is going to steal something or the person is not going to steal it. So maybe you believe it or not, the narration that you have painted in your mind about that person or they've narrated to you gives you the mindset on how you should be perceiving the person. So the same thing, you are saying that she's a selfish person. You have to change that narration in your head, because you cannot get love from a selfish person. It can never work. Brother, she has been forgotten all the good deeds what I have done to her. You know the reason? My brother Rupesh K, it is not too late, but I can tell you categorically speaking, it is basically because you never loved her in the first place. Maybe you have not been able to define what love is. Listen to what you say. Brother, she has been forgotten. She has forgotten all the good deeds you have done for her. Is that love? Can a mother remember all the time she has breastfed a child? All she cares about is that her child is fine. Every time you were giving to her, you were giving for an expectation. And because your expectation has not been met, that is exactly why you are disappointed. I have a cute daughter for the same Rupesh K, you said you have a cute daughter, so you love your daughter. For the same of her, I am living in this world. Never pray to be blind. Rupesh K, one of the worst things that can happen to people is to be blind. And blindness does not necessarily mean that the physical blindness. You can be blind spiritually. And when you're blind spiritually, you cannot even see yourself in the whole situation. We are not in your we are not in your life to know exactly what is going on. Trust me. But just in the narration, we could have been talking about how do you convince her? How do you, if that the narration you have painted to us is like, I want her to be happy or something like that, I want to do my best and the rest of it, we would have seen it from a different light. Everything you are saying, a lot of us who are alive right now, we can only see that you are the problem. Trust me, if you might not see it, my brother Rupesh K, you might not see it, but every single one of us right here can see it that you are the problem. And I'm telling you from the space of love. Please, if there's any other person who disagree based off what Rupesh K has actually said, because rather than us to be thinking of how to convince her, we are seeing how you are narrating the whole stuff, and you are just the problem there. She has not forgotten, brother. It seems you feel neglected because our focus is on our parents, and our parents are sick. Thank you very much, Constitution Andy. He says, yes, I see it. At Rupesh K, you are the problem here. You see, it's just like you are a skillful person and you are playing football. And while you are playing football, you are at the pitch and you might be making mistakes, you wouldn't see it. It is the coach that is outside that can actually see you how you're playing, if you're performing well or not. You might think you're performing well because you dribble one person or you score a goal or you are a good defender or you're doing something. You might think you're performing well. The coach outside can actually see clearly. Everything you've said, Rupesh K, has only shown that you are the problem. And I really hate to say it, but you see, if you want to be able to understand this thing, list out a problem cannot happen within you and that person, and you can't say that I don't have any hands in it as long as she's with you. If you really care about her, write 10 reasons why you are the problem on a piece of paper. Write 10 reasons why you, Rupesh K, is the problem. If you can write 10 reasons why you can be part of the problem of what is going on, you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. Rather than focus on her, focus on yourself. If you focus on yourself, Rupesh K says, her parents are as fit as fiddle. She cares about her parents. Sick or healthy. Now, let me ask you, Rupesh K, why does she care about her parents? At least if you have a good union with your spouse, you should know the reason why they are doing what they are doing. Do you have understanding? I'm not saying clue, because when we use the word clue, you might imagine. Do you have the understanding why she is so much caring for her parents? If you do have the understanding why you think your wife is doing what she's doing to her parents, why she's caring so much with her parents, explain to us why you think she's doing it, why she so much care about her parents. Rupesh K, do not focus on all this stuff. What we are saying right here, we are one brothers and sisters, and on this particular platform, what we seek for is solution. And Constitution Andy is not trying to hurt you. He's just trying to tell you to reflect on yourself. That is only what we are trying to do. And I'm asking you a question. Do you understand the reasons why she's caring so much for her parents? And my brother, if I were you, I would still be grateful for something. She's not caring for another man. She's not taking your resources and taking her resources to go give another man. You know fully well that she's caring for her parents. You know what it simply means? It simply means she's a caring person. The only thing is that a view of who she's caring for at this moment is her parents. Amen to that. That is even one reason you can look at and you can be happy. She's not caring for another man, saying that you, Rupesh K, you are a nobody. Have you ever thought of it like all this care she is actually showing to you or showing to her parents? What if she's showing that same care to a man? How would you feel about it? Like I said, she's showing care, and that simply means that that particular gift or habit is inside of her to be caring. The problem is at the moment she's caring for her parents, and you wish she gives you that same attention. I will tell you something. I hope you can listen, Rupesh K. During the time when my wife had my first son, I didn't have sex with my wife for more than a year. Before the moment I knew that my wife was pregnant, till she delivered and many months, I didn't have sex. And now, the time when we begin to make a decision like, okay, let's start making things work, she was showing so much care to the child. And she's showing so much care to the child that in one way in my spirit, I felt being neglected. And then it came to my mind that she's showing care because she's a mother, and the mother needs to show care to the child. In the second child, we did not have the same issue like the first child, because she's trying to navigate her way to understand, to be able to balance being a wife and being a mother. I realized that she was good, and I begin to see the benefits. And I say, are there not women who always have children and then they abandon those children and start looking for men elsewhere. Start looking for how to go to party and to go to club. She has children and she's dedicated to those children. That is a blessing. If I use my needy to judge her at this particular moment, rather than things to get better, things can only get worse. Because at the end of the day, I will snap at everything she does. And then she will see me as a threat to the child. That the way your father is acting, I don't think we are so much safe with your father. And the moment she starts thinking that she's not safe and the child is not safe with me, then she wants to protect the child more and more. And rather than we coming together, rather there will be more separation. But you know what I did? I stepped in and I started taking care of the child. And the moment I start taking care of the child, playing with the child, she feels comfortable. Our second child, my daughter is, how many months? My daughter is 8 months old right now. We are just like this. Our mom is comfortable to leave her with me and walk to different places. Brother, let's care our parents. Okay, it's a good thing. Issue is not that, brother. She is living in my parents' home and she disrespects them in my parents' home. Okay, she's disrespecting your parents. I couldn't tolerate it. Rupesh K, I don't need you to agree with me, but their parents come here, I show my respect to them. In Yoruba culture, in our traditions, we say nani nani nani, onwa nila nlani. Honor, honor, honor. It is that which we have that we honor. No one can disrespect anyone's parents if the person does not show the act of disrespect. I repeat, no one can disrespect anyone's parents if the person does not show the act of disrespect. Now, if there's a possibility that you respect your parents so much, if if you think that you actually, oh, I think maybe anyone has already said it all. Because look at it. I think Enron has already said it all. If you actually do love and you respect your parents, what you should do is to give them their own respect. That was why I said that particular statement. Nani nani nani, unwani na nani. That means honor, honor, honor. That which we have is what we honor. So when you see your parent and you honor your parent, I'm not talking about respect. When you honor your parent, you want to give them their space. And their space is not in your space. So, like Annie says, find a space for your parents. Sometimes maybe she feels like they are demanding so much from her. Maybe she feels these out. And I tell you this, I've said this before. There was a time I was talking about marriage and I said something. A woman would disrespect what you don't respect. You might have not heard about this song. The song goes this way. It's a song in Nigeria. It's an Igbo person that sang the song. And he sang the song this way. He said, Shey you dey whine me ni, oh 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 oh. Shey you dey whine oh barise. The meaning of whining simply means, are you joking with me? Are you playing with us? You said she's not respecting your parent. The issue, you said she was, you see, you said she was, you were not happy. And because you are not happy, she's taking care of her parents. And she's taking good care of her parents. And she's not showing you care. And then I say, and she's not taking care of your parents. And she's showing care to her parents. Then we say, try and show care also to her parents. And maybe she will think of showing care to your parent. Then you said, your parents are with you guys and she's not showing the care to your parent. Now we say, show honor to your parents. Now you say, your parents are not staying with you. They live in a different place and you guys see twice in a year. And now you say your parent is living in a different place. It is simply like Constitution Andy says right now. It says, yes, when the story changes, it seems like an excuse. Trust me, everything you have said, it looks like you have made a decision in your mind that you don't even want it to work. Because as you are throwing us here, you are throwing us here, you are throwing. If, hey, perhaps we. You are, I would say maybe you're lucky that Rusty is not here. Because if Rusty was here, Rusty would have said too many things. The story is just too much. The story is not too much. Like, you can't even pinpoint on one particular thing and say that this is exactly the problem. It seems as if you are. I don't think the woman can please you. She might be trying her best and you're just satisfied regardless of anything she does. Because if your point was kind of straight and we can pinpoint on a subject and we can treat that subject, it would have make a lot of sense. But it seems like
If with the way you narrate your story, you kind of go to a therapy, I bet you will be in a therapist place for like 30 years. It's a really terrible narration. It's a terrible narration. My brother, let me check the name again. Rupesh K. What you need is a peace of mind. What you need is a peace of mind. Your problem is not happiness. Your problem is a peace of mind. You need to have a peace of mind. And if you have a peace of mind, you would have a sense of everything that is actually going on. And you would know how to see what a problem is. And you will try to manage the situation. But whatever you're narrating here, I do not care who you narrate it to, except a friend who maybe you give money to or you take care of, that wouldn't tell you the truth that nothing adds up. Nothing really adds up. So with that being said, Rupesh K, if you truly care about the situation of what's going on, if you truly care, and I want to hear your voice sometimes, I want to see you write in the chat. I would appreciate your chats, but I would wish also that you can find a space in your mind and reflect. You need to meditate. You need to think about yourself, think about your life, think about your situation, and ask yourself, even maybe you can look back to your past relationship and see what people say about you. If possible, Rupesh K, go ahead with your friends and families and our family and every other person and ask them, maybe in your community, maybe in your place of work, tell them to tell you the negative things about you. I have done that very many times. Tell them to pinpoint negative things that you do that sometimes they are not happy with. Carry a notebook like this. I bet you are going to write up to 10 chapters. You will write up to 10 pages. And when they tell you, don't criticize anyone who tells you their perspective. Go and look at everything, and trust me, you will see the truth. Because the question is this: what would have been the expectation for you to come and you say she's a problem, and we're like, what is the problem? And you put it to this way, and we went to this place, and you are not Ronaldinho, you are not Messi, you are not JJ Okocha, and you are dribbling us here and there. My brother, I believe one day you would have a solution to it, and I am willing to work with you to make sure that you find a solution. But I think that the solution begins with you. And you only have to put your mind to say, I want to find a solution to it. Once you tell yourself you want to find a solution and you want to have a peaceful and happy life, then we can really start a conversation. So for those who have joined, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. I appreciate everyone who has. Thank you so much, Rupesh K. I love you so much, brother. I love every single person who has been part of my audience. I really appreciate you guys. And the reason is basically because the mindset we have here is a mindset of a union, of a family. Our conversation fosters around we as union and we having great mindset. So Henry Ron says, Rupesh K, we love you and we are cheering for you to do the right thing. With that being said, I love you all. I appreciate you, Constitution Andy, and Ron, Rupesh K, Rusty, every other person who has written onto this platform. With that being said, we call it a night. We've spent almost 2 hours. We've spent almost 3 hours. This is 2 hours, 15 minutes, going to almost 3 hours. It's basically because we have, our kind of live video here, it's just like I'm not basically designing it for like, oh, the world to see. We are just having our own conversations and our own discussion. And I know at some point, um, we are going to develop ourselves to something very great. Yeah, it seems like 30 minutes. Thank you so much for your kind and lovable advice, brother. Thank you so much, Rupesh K. Thank you, everyone, for joining. See you tomorrow. Adios, amigos. Bye bye, everyone. And please, and any round, the Yoruba would say that ẹni aṣelóore tí ò bá dúpẹ́ ó dàbí ọlọ́ṣà akónilẹ́rù lọ. It is that one who you do great things to and they did not appreciate you are just like a thief that has stolen from you. I am really grateful for your support. Thank you. You've supported me offline and now you support me online. I'm really grateful and I'm grateful for everyone for your support. Thank you very much. Have a great day. My greetings to the people who should be greeted. Good day. Good night. Have a blessed day. Bye bye for now. Rupesh K, bye.